Well, this is the first time that I've done this, is actually come here and at home and use my Osmo camera. So, and the reason I'm doing that is today was a very interesting day, bowling wise. Tonight was my Thursday night league over there in Tomball. And my hand was just bothering me like crazy when I got in there. So I went and got some tape, and I put some tape on that ring finger. And it was, oh man, it was really stiff and hurting. So I started trying to bowl, and then I had the tape wrapped around the top of that ring finger. You know, and I have like those fingertip inserts, and they don't go down any further than right about there. So that wasn't working. I was getting bad release. One thing led to another. Anyway, first 4 or 5 frames there were opens. I think I had 5 frames in a row open. And that hadn't happened in forever. I mean, it was just getting worse and worse. Finally, I took the tape off, and then I changed from, I was using the Black Widow Dynasty ball. I had some really good success with the Dynasty too. I'd been bowling really good with it. I had that series that I did on Tuesday. It was a 735 series with that Dynasty ball. So I thought, I had big plans. You know, I was going to go in there tonight out there, and I was going to light it up. I was going to get me a, high 700 series. Well, I bowled a 117. 117, mind you. It was absolutely just ridiculous. And I'm going to look over here at my scores. Well, I thought 117, that's 83. I was already 83 pins down. I was thinking of like in a tournament condition, where base level is 200 per game, and I'm 200 pins. I'm 83 pins low. So it meant the next game I'd have to bowl 283 just to be back even. But I was being more realistic about it. I thought I'd go, well, I'll go 240 and 243 or something. I'll get back to even. Well, anyway, that's not exactly what happened, but I got into that second game, and after I made the adjustments, I decided to go ahead and change balls, and so I went to the Rockstar Amp, and I bowled 232. And I thought, well, that was good. I had to start it off with a double, 8 spare. Then I got 4 in a row. Then I had pulled the ball a little bit, got 7 spare, and 10th frame I got 9 in the spare. So anyway, so I thought, all right, so that means I got to get 250. I need a 250 game to bring it up. Well, 251 to be exact. Well, anyway, so second game starts. I get 6 in a spare. I got pick up a strike, 9 spare, 8 spare, and then I strung some strikes together. I got 5 in a row, and I'm into the 10th frame. Okay, so I got it. I got a 256. If I can strike out, I'll have a 256. And in my mind, I'm going, yeah, you can do this. Lined up, got everything just so, threw it down there and hung a 7-pin. And I talked to ChatGPT about it, and then Chat says that what happened is that I celebrated before I actually got it. See, up to that point, after I bowled the 117, I was going one shot at a time. That was my mindset. My mindset was one shot at a time. No more than that, just one at a time. Until I got to the 10th frame of the third game, and then I was beginning to celebrate with that. I was already, patting myself on the back going, you did it, you came back. Then you come back to even, you averaged 200. Well, I didn't quite make the 200, I ended up with a 195 average. So it was about a 585 series, and 585 really wasn't that bad considering I started off with a 117. But any of you guys out there, I'd like for y'all to comment back on this if this has happened to you. 117, I hadn't bowled 117 at that low and I don't know when. It was a long time. I could have just said, hey guys, I'm going to call it a day, and went ahead and took a blind, and, it would have been, and done all right. But I didn't. What I did is I took that rosin bag, that puff bag, and I tightened my hand around it, and I kept squeezing it to keep my hand loose the whole time, that we were in between. And I concentrated on the shot, on what I was going to do next. I didn't rush myself. I waited for the guy that went ahead of me to come completely set down. And as soon as he's seated, then my mind clicked in for me to go. I had my old towel there that I used to wipe the ball down. I made sure I wiped the ball down the same way every time. Kept an execution for the next 24 frames, the next 2 games. I was clean. I had no opens. I was absolutely clean for 2 games. My mind was not thinking back about 117. All I was thinking about is this shot that I'm going to make right now. If I hit 6, okay, I'm thinking about the spare shot. What do I need the adjustment over here to do? If the 10 pin, okay, I hung a 10 pin. Not having those thoughts of, you're going to mess up here. No thoughts like that. It was just about the execution of the 10 pin. I stuck with 1 ball for the remainder of those 2 games. Was the Rockstar Amp, because I had decent carry. I was throwing about the 3rd arrow, just inside out of that, and I just had a different mindset, and that's what it takes to have a different mindset. Now I'm a little disappointed that I didn't make the goal of 200, but I came really close to it. I came way back, and this week I had a 735 series, and I'm continuing to improve. Then I had another league game that I had earlier today. And similar thing, I started, which I thought was bad. It was a 155. It's nothing compared to the 117. But then I came back from that also. The next 2 games I had, 230 and, a small 200 game. But I didn't let that one game, get into my head again. My goal is to be over 200 average bowler. I really think that I can average, on these house shots like this, I should be able to average 220, 225. And when I really put it to it, like tonight on those second games, 230s, 230 is actually doable. And I don't have to strike every time to do it. I just need to remain clean, keep my posture, keep my composure about me, don't rush my shots, and just think positively about what's going on. I'll show you the scores from tonight, but I wonder if it could get some feedback from anybody else out there that's had this experience where you bowled 117 and then was able to come back after that and take care of it with a couple of games over 200. Look forward to hearing from everybody. Again, I'd love it if you liked and subscribed. It doesn't cost anything. I would, be able to share back and forth about your experiences in the game. Again, I'm 72 years old now. I've been bowling for 35 months. Next month, on April 16th, will be the day that I begin my bowling journey earnestly after 54 years. I hadn't bowled in 54 years in any kind of actual leagues or seriously about it, or bowling more than just once every year, or every 3 or 5 years or something like that, or just go and throw a few balls, or but that's it. So 54 years had gone by since I would participate in any kind of league action. I did that when I was 13, 14, just as a kid, for probably a year, maybe or one summer. And anyway, I guess that I just saved it up over the years. I've thoroughly enjoyed this past 3 years of learning how to do this game. I can see improvement, and at 72 years old, when you can improve in something, it's a good feeling. It really is. Well, as I always say, God bless you. Thank you for tuning in to the 70-year-old rookie bowler. His YouTube, and as a motivational type of thing, it's just to remind everybody that this is our youth today. We're never going to be any younger than we are right now. So we just need to enjoy as much as possible what we can do. and just thank God for our families and friends and keep moving forward. Piper's down here in the corner. She's kind of hiding down there. She's probably wanting to go to sleep, but I'm over here talking too much. Anyway, I'll add some stuff in here, maybe a few bowling shots. I didn't get a video in there because it's just a little bit cumbersome to try to take video at night, but I have some other video I may add to it. But anyway, thank you. Stay tuned for more stuff from us. Let me know what you think about all this. You know, it's just it's just so exciting, you know, to be out there, you know, bowling every day and, you know, getting better. You know, I've got some things planned that I'm going to be going to Brad and Kyle's clinic and tournament here for their membership coming up in May, on May 23rd, 24th, and 25th. They have a dinner, an annual dinner that's going to go on there, and then they have a clinic where they're going to have a bunch of people that, you know, a bunch of coaches in there to watching, you know, this amateurs bowl and giving us some instruction. And then we're going, on the 25th, there's going to be a tournament, which I'm looking forward to that. And who knows? This 70-year-old rookie bowler is planning on going there and to win. That's what I always plan to do, win and improve. Amen and hallelujah.